Hey everybody, hey, don't get anxious, get prepared. Your career engineer here. And today we're going to get right into this important topic that I want you all to have, that if you're looking to do a transition now, tomorrow, next year, next month, there's some things I want you to think about, and they're going to start from the inside out. Today we're going to hit decide what you want to do. Did you know that for the very first part of the job search process, it's got to start here? So y'all know the routine. Get your pen, get your paper, get all the stuff, low tech, high tech. We're going to jump into this. Take your questions if you have them, but share some tips and tricks so you can really jump start your new and next right now. So don't go anywhere. We're going to be right back. Yeah, keeping it real. What do you want to do? You've got to make that decision. That makes this process a lot easier, a lot swifter, maybe makes your pivot on point when you know exactly what you want to do. And you have to decide that. And there's no easy way to do it. I mean, well, there is an easy way to do it. I'm going to share it to you. But I guess what I was trying to say, there's no easy way to get around the decision making process. Like you setting up in your mind, this is what I want, this is what I don't want, this is where I want to go, so that you can have a more result driven job search that's intentional and strategic. You know, I say those words a lot because it really matters. There shouldn't be some happenstance or circumstance. Like I just landed here. Wasn't really thinking about this place. It just popped up. I mean, let's be intentional to find where our dream space is. So here's a couple things that we're going to jump right into right now. And again, if you have a question or comment about anything I say now or even later, of course, whichever platform you're enjoying this on, definitely put a comment. But you know, you can always reach out to us 24/7, 365. There's the email right there, info@tcenow.com. And of course, can't say it enough. Make sure you check us out at our website, tcenow.com. So let's jump into this right now. Like, how do I decide what to do? What are some steps I can use right this moment that you can put put into process? Why can't I talk this morning? I haven't had any coffee. There it is. That's what happened. So here's one of the first things I want you to do. I want you to stop the hashtag IDK, also known as I don't know. And I know I hear that a lot from all the generations, right? I used to think, okay, maybe the ones that are under 30 are still figuring it out, or the ones under 25. But lately, I've been having the IDKs with everyone. So let's figure that out. Let's, anywhere and everywhere is not a successful goal for your job search. You really should know what you want and where you don't want to go. I mean, if there's, I'm going to share a couple of techniques each week on you to really get your hands on it. But if you don't have a specific job search goal, you're going to have chaos. And even right now, when the world is a job seekers market, it's talent driven market. Last report, sometimes I don't like saying the reports in these videos. I never know when you guys are going to watch some of these, but there's about 11 million job openings. And even prior to that, there were 10 million unfulfilled jobs. So this is an uncommon season where you can really write your own ticket. I don't know. I've said it. It ain't gonna last. It can't last. I mean, this can't last forever. But while it's here, that I'm gonna go anywhere, everywhere is not a valuable plan. You gotta really pick and choose, and you can do that now. So here's a big question. This is where we start with deciding, what do you want? All right, what do you want to do? A lot of times when folks reach out to me for career coaching, I say, what do you want to do? And they kind of pause like, do I have a choice? I'm like, absolutely, you have a choice. Absolutely. What you want is part of the equation. So here's the big question for you to answer. You don't have to tell me right now, but think this through. Like, think about this. Who are you? And what do you bring? Okay. A big question before you do a resume, before you get your LinkedIn all nice and sharp, before you do all your networking and all those things everybody's told you to do. Who are you? Right? And what do you bring? So it is like a two-part question. And what am I looking for? And that, like when I ask that question to the folks that we work with to help them to get to their next and to, a lot of times people just say they want their resume. Got it. But we start digging and peeling back some layers. We recognize that it's more than that. It's deeper than that, deeper than the job, deeper than the resume. So you need to be able to respond when I say, who are you or what do you bring? You need to think your performance. Let's look at your hard skills, right? The things that you want to be paid for and paid well. Okay. How have you performed? What are your results? What have you done? Okay. How do you help someone make money? How do you help someone keep money? Accomplishments. I hope you have drive and moxie and mojo, right? That in the time from you were born to this morning, you've accomplished something. They can be big dog stuff like, maybe you are the person of the year, or maybe you've accomplished some professional and some personal goals. We have to have accomplishments. No one, and I'm going to repeat this, and I don't mean to hurt no feelings or anything. I ain't trying to hurt nobody's feelings. But who wants to hire anyone that has no drive? Who wants to hire someone who has no initiative? Who wants to hire someone that doesn't have any accomplishments? I mean, you got to have accomplishments because that speaks to fire in your belly, right? That speaks to, I want something new and different. And it can be, again, you could be, maybe you make the best cupcakes at the PTA bake sale. That's fine. Or you are the number one, right? But you got to have drive. And particularly when you're in the market like this, drive really matters. We say good morning. We say hey to hey, Miss Blake, what's up? And that's one that I called it, like I call her Miss Blake. Check her out. And thank you for watching us live. And listen, those of you who are tuning in live, again, I'm speaking to entrepreneurially as well as to my employees because it's all about what do you want to do. Feel free to network. You guys know I love networking. So feel free to put your hyperlink in here, share who you are and what you bring. Ain't that what we're talking about? So don't be shy to put your brands out when people ask you for it. The other part, the flip side, which is something, maybe it's a little new for me, but I'm a social worker at heart. You guys know I love all those tangible skills, your certifications, your degrees, your performance, your accomplishments, and your leadership. But I also love your MBS. Do you have an MBS? Listen, what we have learned when the pandemic showed up and during the pandemic, and now as we are coming somewhat out of it, your purpose, right? The internal locus of control, your mind, your body, your soul, they need to be part of your job search process too. I mean, for real, like, think about, do I need to work close to home? Do I need, is corporate culture a big part of me? I want to work somewhere where the work I do means something or it counts, or I'm looking for a certain type of environment. Maybe I'm better at micromanagement. Some people grow in that space. I don't, but some do. Maybe some are more in participatory environments. Maybe others just need to be an eagle, while others just need to be a crow. I mean, there's all kinds of environments, but your mind, body, and soul needs to speak this too. I mean, you've got to do something for more than money. I know when we're young, we're like, our aunt says it's all about the vengeance. As you get older, you get wiser. You can always get new money. You can't get new peace, right? So your mind, body, and spirit and your performance and accomplishments should be a part of your answer to that big question. So I will say it again. Who are you? And what do you bring, right? Big question number 2 as we try to figure out what we want to do. I mean, entrepreneurs, take notes. Do you know how many businesses I meet that folks are doing a business because someone said you should do this? It's hot, it's popping, this is the thing, jump on it, fear of losing out, all that kind of stuff. This is the next big. Okay, but you don't really in it. You really wasn't feeling it. I mean, it doesn't really resonate with your MBS or your PAL. Someone said it's hot, jump in it. Come on, this applies to you too. So make sure you get both the PALs and MBS. And maybe I can make a word, PAL-MBS. No, that doesn't work. We're going to find a word that works with that, right? So you got to have both on point. Big question for you, number 2, as you're deciding what you want to do. And these are questions I ask, again, my clients, but I also ask myself over and over again because, things evolve and change. What do you want? What do you want to do? Again, what do you want to do? Okay. So we're talking about the dream. Do you dream? Paint a landscape. What's your canvas of your mind of where you want to go, what you want to do? Now, to my employees or to the folks who want to work in the W-2 or 1099 environment, you are allowed to dream, and please dream out loud and in color. Do it both ways. What is that dream job? Jobs and work and how we work and everything has really evolved, right? We know this. You've heard this so much. So now that it has, think about it. What is your dream job? And don't think about whether, well, I live in, let's say I live in Kinston, North Carolina, and there's not going to be a dream job. That's not what I'm talking about. I don't care if the job's in Kentucky. I don't care if it's in Manila. Maybe there's this job you've seen, again, because you've Googled, or you're like, oh, if I could do anything, oh my gosh, with my eyes closed, I would do this because I'm feeling good doing it. I've got gifts and talents to do it. Dream out loud, because we need to be able to factor those things down. And when you do that, we want you to declare some industries as well. I want you to think about, once you start dreaming, I want you then to do some research. All of you folks in college, right, or folks who look at data, you got to research this stuff. Of course, you're researching yourself, because you remember, I believe career success starts from the inside out. But you also have to do some market research, just like all these other, marketing companies, focus groups, all this kind of stuff, right? What are the 30 things that hit you? What is your ideal dream environment? What are some of the business traits of the ideal dream environment? Entrepreneurs, what kind of partners you want to work with? What type of environments you want to get into? So we can describe the environment and then start looking at places that kind of look like that and go for that. So that when you're putting your brand out in the atmosphere, it's targeted and going to places that really fit you versus, what was that word? Anywhere and everywhere. Anywhere and everywhere. What the heck is anywhere and everywhere? I don't want to be anywhere and everywhere, right? So we need to think about ways that we can define our market. Come on, we're pulling from our salespeople. So all my entrepreneurs, you definitely need to pay attention, because you have to market your business. You've got to sell. But what's your market? What does it look like? Where does it breathe, sleep, and eat? Right? Same thing. So career entrepreneurship is kind of what I'm sharing here. So describe it. You guys always know the big question that I always say to everybody, that if I'm doing this, right, and I'm looking at my market where I want to do my thing, and look at what I'm doing right now. Like, what is my market, right? Where are my gifts and talents? Where's my mind, body, and soul? Right here with a mic, preferably like audio. I'm really a big fan of audio. I really am not a big video fan, guys, because I'm not like, I don't consider myself a camera ready kind of girl. All right, I'm just not that person, and I'm okay with that. But give me a mic on a radio platform or podcasting. Oh, that's easy, because I don't have to go with the hair. I digress. So listen, this is what I'm talking about. You got to know who you are and what you bring. Here's question number 3. Okay. What don't you want? Just as important of knowing, okay, maybe that industry is my dream, or I like to be around folks who are kind. Okay, I get it. Well, that's fine. Or blue is my color. So, oh my God, the lobby is blue and gold. Well, what do you know, right? But, and again, I'm using comedy to share a little piece here. But so just as important as if you can identify where you belong, your places and your spaces, where your energy and your vibe and your mojo and your grit can really come together, you should do the same for what's a non-negotiable. It ain't happening. Not today type of scenario, right? What you don't. And don't just be, well, I don't want that place because I don't want to, I don't know. I don't like grits. I mean, grits and okra, right? But my point is, it's important to know what you don't want, because some of us can answer that question first, because it helps us reverse engineer where we should go. All right. And then the things you truly don't want. And when you're saying you don't want to work there, or you don't want to be a part of that environment, think of the why of that, not just, superficial things. I mean, maybe it's my famous example for me, because I love to talk and I'm kind of loud. Whether you guys know it or not, I have a voice that really carries, and I really don't need a mic. You understand? So I probably am not the best suited person to be in like a place that has to be quiet all the time, right? I don't think it's going to work. There's a whole number of reasons why me working in a place where you got to be all day long, no matter how much they pay me or how much, the vibe is, I'm going to probably fail. And that's, for me, that's my most famous example, because I have tried that and I did fail. Okay. That's called termination. For those who don't know, when you're kind of out of sync in the wrong spaces, right? So, but only I know that because I know where I don't vibe. So if there's this $150,000 opportunity or $200,000 opportunity, and some of you would say, oh, she'll take it because of the money. I will say no. I will say no because I know what I'm not going to be successful with. I know what I don't want. And that scenario doesn't vibe with me because of my makeup, because I am so self-aware that I know I've got to have like outward energy. I got to, I need the sun to shine through the windows. I've got to have a change of scenery. I mean, I need to be where the party's at. I'll get my job done, but I'm very, very extrovert. Like when I tell you I'm extroverted, COVID was hard for me. Okay. I'm keeping it real. So I know that. So when I'm looking at reverse engineering, making those lists, I'm thinking about like things like getting boss traits. I mean, there's certain bosses I can work with. There's certain bosses I cannot work with. I'm a hard person to work with. I think because being an entrepreneur for so long, I'm so used to taking over. I'm just that's my DNA. Now, if there's a company that needs takeover type personalities and alphas, I'm your person. I don't mean to be an alpha. I'm that person. I like to get in, get it done. Let's go. But there's going to be environments where that's not the culture of the day, and I will only cause chaos. So I wouldn't know that if I don't know who I am and I haven't answered those big questions, right? Yeah, thank you for the emojis, Antoinette. Again, y'all check her out, her YouTube, her podcast. She's one of our career engineer members. We're so proud of her and all the good work she's doing in her place in space. See, she knows herself. That's what's up. So we all have to look at these things and answer this question. It's not a question, a one-off question. You might have to bring this up a couple of times in your shivit, right? A couple of times because things evolve, things change. All right. So that's what's up. So here's a push-up that I want to give to you all. I'm going to do a quick recap of those big things because these are what today's segment is about. You really thinking this through. There is no wrong answer. There is no right answer. But if you have to decide, this is right here. That decide who you are before deciding what you'll do. And most of us went backwards. We did something and factored it backwards. I'm saying that in this new next, because we all have a next moment now. The whole world has been upside down and flip-flop everything. So we're starting Genesis. This is a Genesis 2.0 for many of us, right? And that's okay. Embrace it. That's okay. So decide who you are before deciding what you will do. And if you're currently in the process of doing, no worries, just do a little semicolon, do a little pause, have a day of reflection, and think about how you can answer these questions that I thought that I just shared with you guys, and think about them. Like, get yourself some pen and paper. This is like some life work. Forget calling it homework. This is life work. This is not a place to do some regenesis, okay? And it's all right because it's going to help you get to where you need to go. So that push-up, if you get nothing else out of the day, definitely look at that push-up. So let me give you what I need you guys to do. Let me just make sure. I think I had a little comment here. Oh, she says thank you. You are so. Hey, I believe in telling folks how awesome they are, why they watching. This is what it's all about. So here's what I want you all to do, so you can know what to do. Decide what you want to do. First thing, get rid of the I don't know. Put the I don't know in the closet somewhere. I don't know. Put it in the drawer. Put it somewhere. I'm tired of I don't knows. IDKs don't work anymore. Everywhere and anywhere is not a goal. Ask yourself some really deep questions, some TCE digging questions. Who are you and what you bring? You got to know you. I don't know you like you know you, right? So you've got to go there. You've got to go there so you can know all your gifts and talents. And most of the time, folks they can't sell what they don't know, right? So I'm looking at your pals, but please don't negate the power of your body, mind, spirit, and soul. That's got to be on one accord now too, particularly as we grow more wise, right? We want to, I know I want to make sure I'm working in meaningful work. It's important to me for meaningful work, okay? And sustainable work, right? It's got to be sustainable and it's got to be meaningful. That's where I am now. So I've said no to hot, this is happening. And I've said yes to stuff that really matters for me, right? Number two, what do you want? Think about where do you want to go? Like, where do you want to put those gifts in town? So now is where your research comes in. You got to do research. Those of you who are my college grads, you wondered algebra is going to solve that question. Well, here's some math for you. Get your numbers, dream out loud, but let's get some numbers. Let's figure out where do all these gifts, the PALs and my MBS, my natural abilities and my educated abilities and all those certifications are things you do well. And your essence, right? Your essence, where should all those go? So you've got to find those places. And number three, you've got to also ask the question, I don't want to do this. Where are some things I truly don't fit in? Hey, I often joke too. If the job says no hats allowed, I'm going to have a problem, right? That's a cultural thing. I'm going to have a problem. So I'm not going to apply to places where hats are not well, cocaine goes are not allowed, right? Because I have a thing for hats. It's just my thing, right? My hat ain't hurting nobody. I can get the job done with the hat. So, if someone says absolutely no navy blue hats, that even though it might sound great, it might look great, it's not the right space for me. Okay, not the right space for me. And get that list, and you need to compare that list and make sure you're not sending your powerful, wonderful brand to places that is not going to work for your MBS and your pals, right? Yeah, and we got our push-ups. So again, what does this all mean for you? It means you are in the driver's seat. I say it all the time. It's not the employer that's going to fit you in the right place. It's not the business connections got to fit. You drive this process. Take hold of the wheel. I'm not sure why everybody's doing automatic driving, like putting your hands up and just letting the car take you where it wants to go. We can grab that wheel and steer to our destination. And that's what I really want everyone to do. Okay. Remember this push up, decide who you are before deciding what you will do. I want you guys again to have a wonderful, wonderful week. Thank you, sister. I tell you, this lady, I appreciate her. She pops in and she does it. I thank her for her support, for catching us when she catches us. So remember, make sure that you check us out often and always, TCEnow.com, of course, TCE TV. If you didn't know, we're on Roku and Apple TV, and I think we're on Fire Amazon TV as well. And of course, our TCE University training, which is also known as our TCE store, that is digital. You can download all kinds of good stuff and get your training, MP3s, MP4s, all kinds of stuff, so that you can always have me with you 24 hours a day. Yeah, me in your ear. Don't you want that all day long? I'm sure you do. So listen, I want to make sure you guys have an amazing, amazing week. Stay safe, stay purposeful, stay powerful, and most importantly, y'all know how I feel about that thing, right? Don't get anxious. Always, always stay prepared. We will chat next time. Be blessed.